Good morning. My name is Sam. I am an alcoholic and I'm also a son of recovery. Let's start out with the Serenity Prayer. Good and gracious God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. So I'm reading through Living Sober and I'm on number 3 this morning. So, using the 24-hour plan. In our drinking days, we often had such bad times that we swore never again. We took pledges for as long as a year, or promised someone we would not touch the stuff for 3 weeks or 3 months, and of course, we tried going on the wagon or for various periods of time. We were absolutely sincere when we voiced these declarations through gritted teeth. With all our hearts, we wanted never to be drunk again. We were determined. We swore off drinking altogether, intending to stay off alcohol well into some indefinite future. I love how he uses we for this because I resonate with everything that he has said so far. So I do understand and feel that collective we. Yet, in spite of our intentions, the outcome was almost inevitably the same. Eventually, the memory of the vows and of the suffering that led to them faded. We drank again and we wound up in more trouble. Our dry forever had not lasted very long. Some of us who took such pledges had private reservations. We told ourselves that the promise not to drink applied only to hard stuff, not to beer or wine. In that way, we learned, if we did not already know it, that beer and wine could get us drunk too. We just had to drink more of them, and to get the same effects, we got on distilled spirits. We wound up as drunk on beer and wine as we had before and on the hard stuff, and all of this resonates with me too. Yes, others of us did give up alcohol completely and did keep our pledges exactly as promised until the time was up. Then we ended the drought by drinking again and were soon right back in trouble with an additional load of new guilt and remorse. All of this still rings true for my life. With such struggles behind us now in AA, we try to avoid the expressions on the wagon and taking the pledge. They remind us of our failures. Although we realize that alcoholism is a permanent, irreversible condition, our experience has taught us to make no long-term promises about staying sober. We have found it more realistic and more successful to say, I'm not taking a drink just for today. Even if we drank yesterday, we can plan not to drink today. We may drink tomorrow. Who knows whether we'll even be alive then. But for this 24 hours, we decide not to drink. No matter what the temptation or provocation, we determine to go to any extremes necessary to avoid a drink today. Our friends and families are understandably weary of hearing us vow, this time I really mean it, only to see us lurch home loaded. So, we do not promise them, or even each other, not to drink. Each of us promises only herself or himself. It is, after all, our own health and life at stake. We, not our family or friends, have to take the necessary steps to stay well. And that is the truth. It is all about you, and this is the thing about sobriety and being selfish in it. It's totally fine to be self-centered in your sobriety. It is your sobriety, so you have to do whatever you can. You have to do whatever you have to stay sober. That's what that means. So, think about it as your own health. It's your body. If the desire to drink is really strong, many of us chop the 24 hours down into smaller parts. We decide not to drink for, say, at least 1 hour. We can endure the temporary discomfort of not drinking for just 1 more hour, then 1 more, and so on. Many of us began our recovery in just this way. In fact, every recovery from alcoholism began with 1 sober hour. Again, that is the truth. One version of this is simply postponing the next drink. So I'm just not going to have it today. How about it? Still sipping soda? Have you really postponed that drink we mentioned back on page 1? If so, this can be the beginning of your recovery. The next drink will be available later, but right now, we've postponed taking it at least for the present day or moment. So, say for the rest of this page. See, I love how he talks about talks about chopping it up. The 24-hour plan is very flexible. We can start it afresh at any time, wherever we are. At home, at work, in a bar, or in a hospital room. At 4 p.m. or at 3 a.m. We can decide right then not to take a drink during the forthcoming 24 hours or 5 minutes. Continually renewed, this plan avoids the weakness of such methods as going on the wagon or taking a pledge. A period on the wagon and a pledge both eventually came, as planned, to an end. So we felt free to drink again, but today is always here. Life is daily. Today is all we have, and anybody can go one day without drinking. First, we try living in the now just in order to stay sober, and it works. Once the idea has become a part of our thinking, we find that living life in 24-hour segments is an effective and satisfying way to handle many other matters as well. Amen to that. So we'll be going on to number 4 tomorrow, or later. Let's go with Give us, O Lord, a tireless heart, so no false accusation may drag us down. Give us a triumphant heart, so no hardship can wear us out. Give us an honest heart, so no unworthy thought may tempt us. Grant upon us also, our Creator, understanding to know you, persistence to seek you, wisdom to find you, and faithfulness that we may embrace you. And with that, if you have any comments, questions, or thoughts, I ask you to leave them. And as always, I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks.